Oh, who am I kidding? You know I'll do a video. I don't know what to tell you, but I think for sure, I will say, I have known about this appointment. I didn't like to talk about it for some time, obviously. You know, weird specialty appointments like this are scheduled months in advance. And the whole changing of care and everything that entails has been a gnawing stress for sure. I have to stand here, people, because for once in her life, baby fell asleep and she's in the car. Don't worry, it's a cool, breezy day, the windows are open. I'm not going to have one of those horrific... Did you watch that Oprah, people? I know it always sounds like I'm always watching Oprah. I'm not. I just always TiVo it, and so sometimes, you know, I can get through 1 or 2 episodes when I'm working out. Did you watch the one with the woman whose baby was left in the car because she just spaced out and died because it was an August day and the temperatures were over 100 degrees outside of the car? It was horrific. But I'm not passing judgment on that, people. I'm really not, because that's not my job. Anyway, I'm sure my neighbors are like, what the hell is she doing? I'm standing at an open door talking to myself into a camera. They don't realize that I'm about 1/8 the time internet famous. And when I say famous, I mean not really that famous. I just pretend sometimes. It gets me through the day. Anyway, back on track. Definitely, okay, the change of care, stressing me out big time. And then it got very stressful leading up to the appointment, and then, where can I put you? It's going to be frustrating to hold you this whole time. I don't know, I'll have to hold you. And then I had the appointment, and while much of it was good, I have to tell you, it's very complicated, and I've thought about posting about it, but I think it's like more technical information than anyone needs. But he feels like, short story, while certainly everything that happened is indicative of epilepsy, it is such a rare type of epilepsy, although it happens, obviously, you know, that he feels like there might be more to the story and more stuff going on. I enjoy that attitude because I always think that myself. The only scary thing about that is it would just be, and he even did say, acknowledged, it would be easier to just say this is what it is and proceed and not worry about it, and that he wouldn't blame us for thinking that. So I kind of liked that he like put that out there. Not that I want to do that, but that, you know, he would possibly be interested in investigating more into what's going on. The problem with that is it's a whole can of worms, what the more is and what the more means, and it's definitely stressing me out. Not that it's worse or better, it's just different, and each diagnosis has its own thing. And I'm really disappointed because U of M, I had sent in all, you know, we don't live there, so it's kind of difficult, all these like signed forms to get every part of her chart sent to him, and he got nothing. He got like a tiny little paragraph right up of one of the MRIs, and like not the pictures of the MRIs, I mean all the important stuff. So he's sitting there thinking like the description of my retelling of seizures that happened 2 years ago with kids going crazy in the office doesn't totally equal like a definitive diagnosis. What am I at here? Okay. Meanwhile, now I'm like, well, maybe I didn't do a good enough job describing it, like I wish I could go back, you know what I mean? This is always the way. It's very hard to do appointments with kids. At the same time, I looked up and read some medical journals last night, what, you know, his different possibilities are, and he's right. I mean, that could be it too. It's just hard. I mean, it's just hard. You want to have an answer, and as he said, and as other doctors have said as well, we'll never have an answer because it's not fully understood, and until an episode happens again, you know, there won't be more proof. So, that's that. But either way, while not terrible, not necessarily better, and not necessarily a relief. Although the relief is I like to liked his style. He was great with engaging both kids, actually. And honestly, I am more of an investigator. I appreciate that, and you know, that is of course what I do want in a doctor. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of gnawing at my brain and making me anxious, and you know, truthfully, we're getting this EEG and it's going to be normal because she's not in the middle of a seizure, so it would be very abnormal for it to be abnormal. If it's abnormal, then it's definitely epilepsy, and we move forward with that. It's hard, people. And there's no way to describe it, really, unless you live through this, but in the most bizarre of ways, I wish for it to be abnormal, or I hope that she has a seizure right away upon weaning, so that we know for sure it's what it was, and then we can also know for sure that her medicine was keeping her seizure free and working. That's the only way to give us a peace of mind, as hideous as either of those options are. Every other choice is you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know how it's going to happen, and you don't know the outcome, and you don't know the cause. So if you have those two things, you know, as horrible as the one choice is, why did that person block that driveway? As horrible as it is, you know, it would be easier on all of us for it to just be one thing. Now I will say this, if she has any episodes or any abnormality, the 2-year seizure-free thing is completely out the window, and she will be on seizure medicine, most likely for the rest of her life. They don't, you know, so, people, it's hard. It can make me cry, but, you know, I'm tough like that. Also, added stress of this, as is probably typical of most families, is obviously I bear the brunt of the responsibility of investigating and researching and deciding and everything in relation to all of this. So I don't always feel, although I know that Mr. F supports me. Putty, come back, in the house. In the house. Although I know he supports me, it's not a fair share of the stress. Okay, I'll take a break to show you that I got a new doormat. And I will show you, I just had to hang that commando hook. Oops. I will show you our Halloween plaque, which really does look perfect on our blue door. Okay, that's it.